This is the last video you'll ever need to edit AI moving images like Iman Gadzhi. In this video, I'm covering one of the hardest AI images that's on his page out there. As you guys can see, we have the person holding the phone and he's scrolling on his phone, and we have this clock in the background, and then we have this Instagram type of interface. And if you have not watched my last two parts on the AI images, it's fine, you can start from here onwards. But the last two parts I went over different AI tools, and in this video I'm gonna go over the main tool that Iman Gadzhi's editor himself uses. Now, all that aside, here's where I will reveal that I have the best editing community coming up within the next 7 days of this video's upload. So make sure you sign up early for it by clicking on the link below, as well as just a bonus point that if you do sign up, you're getting the project file to this video completely for free. So with that being said, I think we're ready to finally dive into our PC. So first thing you literally want to do is open up Google, and once you have Google open, just write up Midjourney. And this is the AI that we're gonna be using in this video. As you can see, Midjourney used to be on Discord before, but now finally it's on their website as well. And there is like, I think, a free period trial where you can literally just generate images for free. So in case you never used it before, I think you should be able to use it for free. If not, it's literally like a $5 to $10 subscription, and you can literally generate the best of the best images. So it's like a return on investment, you know? So I'm looking at this image over here, and I can tell a couple of things. First thing, this is clearly added externally, so we're not gonna have that in our AI image. It is a good illustration though. I think it might be from the AI image, but let's just ignore this for now. We have this person who's holding a phone, and the phone has an externally added screen recording, so don't worry about that. Now we have this as well, which is externally added, as well as the background is clearly externally added. So what we want to do is we want to literally just generate the person right over here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here and literally just type out the prompt. So I'm gonna have it say hyper realistic first person, because like we're viewing it in first person, the phone. I'm gonna alt tab just to have another look. Okay, view of hands holding a smartphone. Typing. Phone is held upright in like portrait mode, and literally has like cinematic lighting with cool blues and warm reds. You can see over here it's like warm red, kind of purplish, but we're not gonna confuse it too much. We're gonna give it two colors only, and I'm literally just gonna press on this button and see what we can adjust. I want to have it landscape 16:9. You can see if I zoom out over here, we're able to see the resolution. Everything else I'll just have it stay the same. And now I'll press OK on my keyboard. So let's wait for what they're gonna give us over here. You can see this is the completion status, and wow, we already have results close to what we want, and I'll say this is one of the best results until now. So I'm gonna go over here, like literally just press on this image, and I will press, if you see over here, make minor changes to the image, make broader changes to the image. So I'm gonna press one subtle, and I'm gonna press strong, so it's gonna make like 8 versions. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna literally just copy paste the same thing, right? And I'm gonna write first person view hands holding smartphone, first person hands of male, just so it's a male rather than a female. And let's see what we get out with right now. But yeah, prompting is very simple as long as you literally just know what to write. It's not that complicated. Now you can see over here we're facing another problem, is that now the phone is changed directions just from me changing one word, because now their focus point is like putting in the male. So that's one of the main problems when it comes to prompting shit. Like for example, if I wrote male, it's gonna show me the male instead of male hands. But anyways, I think I'll just go with this image. It's a very good image, and it doesn't look too much like female hands, even though, you know, the nails are painted. But anyways, this is something we can go ahead with. So I'm literally just gonna press this and I'm gonna download it. And here, let's just preview the image. We have the image, which is, yep, not too bad. And one of the main focus points that I have is that I wanna show you guys how you can do this completely from After Effects. Honestly, if we do use Photoshop to separate each product in its way, it's gonna be way better, but it's fine. We're gonna figure it out in After Effects. So yeah, with that being said, let's literally just dive in right into After Effects. So here I am in After Effects. What I'm gonna do first move is we just create a composition, and let's make it this much, and I'll just save the project file in case anything goes wrong early on. And here, yeah, I saved my project file, and literally let's just get right into it. First thing we have to do is import our file, and here it is, it's imported. I'm gonna do Ctrl Alt F just to fit it, and you can see we have this right now. And the first thing we want to do is literally just separate this image from the background. So now that we have the image, literally the first thing we want to do is remove the background. And because this is an After Effects only tutorial and I don't want to get into Photoshop and just overcomplicate the situation for you guys, we're just going to use a Google image background remover. Very simple. So I'm going to use Adobe background remover because it's like 1080p. It gives you the exact quality back, and this was my image, I guess. But yeah, pretty much, yep, very good job. Nothing much, only over here the edges are a bit choppy, but anyways, like, does a good job. So now that I have downloaded it, I'm just gonna literally drag it into After Effects, and this is what we have right now. And you can see if I do this is PNG, and I'm gonna do Ctrl Alt F to fit it. And I'm gonna like just scale it up a bit to hide that part. It does look a bit woman-ish right now, so to change that, I'm gonna literally do hue. I know it's not much major. We could have done a better job when picking up the image, to be honest. But anyways, here we are. Now the first thing we want to work on is getting all the elements that we need. So first thing we have this, which is like more like an old clock type vibe. So what I'm gonna do to find a similar image is open a website called freepik.com, and in freepik.com, this is more like identified as, I have no idea what this clock is called, but I'm just gonna write like, for example, pocket watch, and this is literally what we have. I think this is already perfect. So what I'm gonna do is literally just click on download, and I want to download the EPS because I can tell this is handwritten. It's like literally not even editable with EPS. There's no point of downloading EPS. I'm just gonna download JPEG, and let me just import this into After Effects. This is what we have in After Effects. You can see this is hand drawn. So what I'm gonna do is once it's imported in After Effects, I'm just gonna create a composition just so we can like edit out some stuff. First thing we want to do is literally just edit out the circle. I'm gonna do like, get over here, do ellipse tool and hold shift, and literally just, I'm gonna hold space on my keyboard while holding shift just so I can exactly fit it in the circle. You can see right over here we have a close accurate look. Boom, this is what we have. I'm gonna do Control Alt Home. Nice, perfect. So this is after and this is before. Nice. Now what I'll do is I'll separate the clock from the background, which is something I usually do in Photoshop again. But anyways, let's forget Photoshop. What I'll do is literally go on my pen tool, duplicate this image, like go on this image, and literally just try to mask this out, yeah, by having it as accurate as possible. So I'm gonna be back once this is masked out completely. So I masked it out. You can see over here, if I do like subtract from here, you can see we have this mask out. Not subtract, let me just do none. You can see over here we have this mask out. Now we need to put this layer into another layer. Like we need to have this as a layer as itself. So what I'm gonna do is literally just duplicate by doing Control D, and then I'm gonna click M on my keyboard, and once I click M, you can see we have a exact duplication, and this is our mask 2. Okay, so I'm gonna delete mask 1 from here, and from the image that was originally done, I'm gonna delete mask 2. So now you can see if I do this, okay, if I do this, we have this only, which is on the second layer or on the top layer. Now what we want to do is we want to pretty much also remove it from the original layer, because if we move it, guess what happens is that there's going to be a duplication. So just to show you what's going to happen, if I rotate it, see what's going to happen. If we have triple clock. So how do we avoid this? Like how do we remove this in the first place? I'll tell you, don't worry. So literally to do that, I'm going to hide my clock layer, and this layer that I have, I'm gonna just duplicate it. I'm gonna put an extra version, and I'm gonna hide that as well. and then we have this version. Okay, this is like the version, and what I'll do is I'll do subtract, so this will get subtracted rather than added. And I'll literally go over here on content fill aware. In case you cannot see it, find it in window and literally press on content fill aware, and you're gonna find it. So what this will do is literally fill that area with the surrounding. So I'll show you. If I do alpha expansion a little bit, and now I'm gonna do generate fill layer, you can see it's analyzing. Let's give it a bit. Now one thing is that it's gonna take a long analyzing. Why? Because we're analyzing our whole composition, so it's gonna analyze frame by frame. We don't want to do that. I'm literally just gonna zoom in to the maximum. I'm gonna press N on my keyboard so that's one frame, and I'm gonna do trim to comp area and select this and generate fill layer. Now you can see it only analyze one frame, and here it is. It literally got hidden. So this is the beauty of content fill aware. Now guess what happens? I can delete this layer, the layer that we had, and the fill is on this layer. If I just make this non-transparent, you can see the fill is on this layer with white. And don't worry about the rest, that is a bit confusing, but don't worry about it. I will literally take this image and place it on top and see what happens. If I unhide this, if I hide this, this is shown, but if I unhide this, this is gone. So now I can peacefully literally rotate this how I want it. So that was the whole reason behind what I was doing, and I hope you understand. I know it was a bit complicated, but don't worry, like you will sort it out, especially because you have the project file. You can like dive deeper and literally get what's going on. But anyways, this is what we have. Now I'm gonna click on mask 1 and literally do, so now it's like 100% correct. And now if I press PNG, you can see this is PNG. Everything is perfect. And now I will literally extend my layer again. I'll go to composition settings. I'll make this like 20 seconds, for example, 20 seconds. Get over here. Okay, what we should do is freeze frame. I'm gonna right click on my fill layer and do freeze frame. Why? Because you remember when we made our composition one frame, our fill layer is like literally now one frame. So we can just freeze that, not a problem. Now if I freeze it, because it's an image, I can extend it as much as I want to. So I'm gonna extend it all the way. And these were already images, so that's not a problem. And now I have my arrow over here, and I'm gonna literally move this. Okay, this is just to create a bit of movement, by the way. I'm gonna move this to reach like to this point, I guess, to the very end. But yeah, it's very slow. This is just to create the movement. This is way easier if we have the EPS file, but it is what it is. You can see one problem is that you might be facing is that imagine your anchor point is in the middle of the layer, and if I rotate, this is how it rotates. We don't want it like that. It's very important that you fix the anchor point to be in the middle of here. So I'm gonna take the anchor point and take it like over here. Now it's gonna anchor around that. You can see what's happening. It's anchoring around that, which is what we want. So yeah, we have this movement. I'm gonna do Ctrl-Shift-C to pre-compose it and copy it and paste it over here. Now when I bring it, I'm gonna zoom it down and put it in the back, and I'm just gonna add a bit of rotation so that the arrow is like in a place where it's more visible. Now we need to like literally import things on our iPhone. How do we do that? I'm just gonna open up my iPhone, and on my iPhone I'm gonna screen record. This is the best way. I mean, you don't need to go on YouTube, you don't need to do anything. This is like the best way, and I'll literally just scroll. This is my alt account, like it's an extra account which I don't use, so I don't even know what my For You page gonna look like. It's just some random shit, honestly. Many of it is random, and then there is some, because it's like kind of optimizing. You can see all the content is different. So yeah, I'm literally just scrolling, and I'm gonna send this to myself on WhatsApp, and then through WhatsApp I'm gonna download it. And here I literally just imported my file. We have this image. Now we want to do a couple of things, is that we kind of have the exact same manner. So how will I implement this onto the iPhone that is generated by AI? Pretty simple. Let me just fix up the frame. Now first thing we want to do is enable 3D on my screen recording, and once I have done that, I will do this I'm just gonna move these values, you can see over here, to match it exactly. So we wanna do this. You can see this is what we have as of now. That's close enough. I think they're all gonna be like minus 35. So this is gonna be minus 35, and this is gonna be 35 and 35. Over here you can see it's a bit more tilted, but if I move it, we have something pretty close. Let me just adjust this a bit more. The most important factor is that we get this rotation right, otherwise it will look clapped. Okay, so this is what we have. Now what I have to do is I'm gonna do something called alpha matting. So I'm just gonna create a fill shape layer. Okay, let me just create a shape layer. Don't worry too much about this. Okay, just follow what I do. I'm gonna have to make the shape layer match exactly to the phone. Okay, so that's very important, is that we have the shape layer match exactly to the phone. This way, boom, boom. Make sure that it's as accurate as possible, and I'll be back literally once I'm close to finishing this. Okay, at this point you gotta be very important. It's very important that you're not gonna select the hands. You're gonna do it through the hands so that it is seamless, like this. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. Now you can see we have the shape layer very similar. And now why did we do the shape layer is that we can literally add our screen recording into the shape layer. I'll tell you guys how. First thing, let's just adjust this a bit more, as much as possible. And now we want to have the shape layer above the video. So now I have my video over here. You can see because my layer is 3D, we don't get like the same option that we have on this. If I, for example, disable 3D, I get the option. I'm gonna Control Z. Okay, we have a way through this, don't worry. It's very simple. I'm literally just gonna do Control Shift C, and then I'm gonna do this. So now you can see what happens is that our screen recording is inside the phone. Now we do have a bit of inaccuracies. So first thing is that I need to increase the size over here. Now this is pretty much how it is imported on our phone. You can see it is automatically scrolling. So this was the phone part. It is a bit inaccurate, and I can keep fixing the shape layer over here. Another thing that is very important is that we enable 3D on this layer to make it look seamless. So I'm gonna do this like this. You can see this is the difference with no 3D with 3D. Not something too major, but it does the job right. We also want to tint this. I'm gonna add an effect called tint, and it's just gonna become black and white, which is good. So now let's look at kinda the demo version that we have over here. I'm gonna make the quality quarter just so we can preview this properly. So this is what we have. What we can do is even like do kind of cuts. So I can like do cuts just to speed up like when the scrolls come, because the scrolling was a bit late. In the end I was scrolling very fast, so let's get the ending part by the way. So I'm gonna just do this cut. It's not gonna be too similar here. Yeah, at this point I was like scrolling very fast, you can see. So yeah, we have this fast passing by, we have this showing that it's scrolling. Now what else do we need to fit our elements? So I'm just checking this. We have this element, which is time on Instagram. So I'm just gonna write time on Instagram image. You can see we have this time spent, this image. And what I'm gonna do is literally just open image in a new tab, and then save image, and then import the image into After Effects over here. You can see this is our imported version. Now to remove the background, I'm gonna add an effect called color key. So let me just write up color. You can see over here. And if I take this color key and I make it black, and then I increase the matching tolerance, the black is like gone completely. And what I'm gonna do is go over here, get on the rounded rectangle tool, make it black, and literally just make a black surface like this. And I'll tell you what Iman's editor did. So he took it down. Now I'll tell you why we're doing this. If I open this, you can see there's a bit of black fading, which is what we want. So to do that, very simple. You literally go on fill. Okay, once you go on fill, you click on this tool, linear gradient. Okay, once you click on linear gradient, you'll see these lines pop up. Now if I take this down, see what happens. The location is changed. So I'm not gonna mess too much with this. Let's keep it same. The most important thing we need to do right now is first thing, take this color stop, make it black, and then take this opacity and decrease it, make it 0, and take this opacity and decrease it as well. This one I'm gonna make it like 5. So now you can see we have this smooth fading, and what I'm gonna do is literally just link the image through Null, through parenting, to my shape layer. If you don't see this parent and link, by the way, click on expand or collapse transfer control panels, or right click over here and you'll find parent and link. Once you have done this, why did I say we should link them? If I now do 3D and then for example I want to rotate it, that is gonna rotate as well. Okay, so that is a very important point. So yeah, literally how we want to rotate it is the exact same way as the phone. So we already know the numbers. This was -35. Okay, this was 35 and this was 35. So here we got the exact same. You can see there is a bit of displacement. Just gonna place it back right, and then let me drag this shape layer and take it back here, and now you can see it's literally going behind the layer and it's showing us this. So that this looks mad smooth. Actually, instead of adding color key, what I'm gonna do is literally just add deep glow on it. Okay, and I'm gonna do required for text. So this is what's gonna happen, and then make this like 0.5. Now we have exactly the glow as well, 0.3, and just increase the spread to like 400. So now this is how we have the time on Instagram thingy. Before we get into the movement, we need just the background. That's the only thing we have remaining. Here I just picked up a random ass background, to be honest, nothing much. And I'm gonna decrease the opacity by a lot. Okay, like decrease the opacity just so it's more like blending in. And what I'm gonna do is like slightly tint it. Actually, I'm gonna have this also towards black. Now pretty much we want to dive in right into the animation because we've taken too long to design all of this. But yeah, first thing we have to do is like literally pre-compose all of these things except for the background. And now I'll create a camera. Okay, gonna create a camera, and first thing we're gonna start is literally with the animation. So let me create a null layer. Okay, a null object, and link the camera to it, and make sure the null is also 3D. So we're gonna start like with position. Okay, and after 3 seconds, let me just place another keyframe, and it's gonna start. Make sure everything is 3D in your layer. It's gonna start like this, and then we're gonna zoom out. You can see, because we want to pan towards the camera, or we want to pan towards the clock. And I'm gonna make like an F9 graph. We want to go for something that is very smooth. Let me play this in quarter just so we don't have to face with quality preview issues. So this is how it is. And in the starting, what Iman Gadzhi did is that he did kind of an animation with the clock. So I'll tell you what the animation is. We have this. It literally like pops up, right? So it goes from opacity 0, and then 1, 2, 3, opacity 100, 1, 2, 3, opacity, or not opacity 100, sorry, opacity like 70, 1, 2, 3, opacity like 20, 1, 2, 3, go 80, 1, 2, 3, 30 or 40, whatever, 50 maybe, 1, 2, 3, 90, 1, 2, 3, go a bit lesser, 1, 2, 3, and then 100. So you can see this is what happens. And I'm gonna take all of this, hold Alt on my keyboard to extend it out a bit more. So now we have this clock that is emphasized on, boom, boom, boom. So you can see, nice. That is a very good start, very good start. So yeah, this is how it is. And then we're gonna make the zoom in a bit more, to be honest. Position a bit more so that it's more harsh. We're gonna have it stay zoomed in more because I zoomed out too much. So it's gonna go literally from like this to this. Okay, let's zoom out a bit more. But yeah, this is pretty much what we have as of now. We go from this insane zoom in to a bit zoomed out, and like at this point we want the animation for the Instagram to come up. So we have this Instagram thingy, and what I'm literally gonna do is add Gaussian blur. Okay, and I'm gonna add opacity to the Gaussian blur. So let's go from minute 1 to minute 2 over here, go back to minute 1 and have the blur at like 25. I'm gonna make this full just so we can see. So it's gonna come up like this, and it's gonna go 0. And I'm gonna do F9 graph just so it's faster, and plus opacity. So the opacity is gonna go 100 halfway, and it's gonna start 0 like this. So let's preview how this looks. Amazing, perfect. You can see Gaussian blur with opacity. Nice. It is a bit fast, so we can like slow this down. And if I play this at quarter over here, look what happens. This comes. So yeah, we're adding life into everything. We're adding life into the clock. We're adding life into the time on Instagram. All of this is getting life added onto it, which is very important in order to do the AI images in a very good way. So yeah, this is what we have. You can see right now. Amazing. And now we wanna just do final animations, and then in the end we literally like tweak things to make the whole environment or everything look way better. So we have this coming up like this. Now let's make the animation from our own side a bit more creative. I hope you guys understood how to add nulls. Yeah, I'm gonna add another null and literally link this to the null, and now this null is gonna be another control point. So we want to overlap some animations. But anyways, now once it's like at this point, once it's come here, I want my second null to already start our next move. So at like second number 5, or yeah, at 5 seconds, we want this to move towards this much. So now see what happens. We're gonna have this come out, and then the animation is already gonna start. I'm gonna press F9 and make like both sides 65. Okay, so it comes out like this, and above, if I do Alt Tab, you can see we have like these notes. So we need these notes. How do we do this? So let me just write $100 bills USD, and we have this image, and I'm literally gonna do save image as. Boom. Let me add this over here, scale this down, rotate this, and gonna have like them overlapping. First thing before that, we need to make it 3D so we know what we were doing. I'm just gonna mess with the scale, not the positioning. Boom, duplicate it, take the layer below, rotate it lesser, and you can see now we have like a very similar rotation. Literally duplicate it, take the layer below, rotate it, duplicate it, take the layer below, and rotate it. So this is how it's gonna look. The dollar signs, it's obviously a bit small, so I'm gonna add a null to all of them and just increase it in size. Okay, so this null is gonna be like main control. And just while we are here, like mid positioning, right? I'm gonna delay this position a bit. While we are here, I'll make all of these come down with like a rotation. Okay, so I'm gonna keyframe rotation and I'm gonna keyframe position. And then at this point, I'm gonna keyframe these again. And when it comes over here, it's gonna come from up, okay? And it's gonna come with a rotation. Along with it, I'm gonna do F9. So see what happens. It's coming in smoothly. Okay, this is a bit slow. So I'm gonna come over here and literally just speed this up, okay? And then take this even further back. So now at the same time, that is coming in. I'll make the final positions a bit closer to the corner, a bit more down, okay? So see, while this is coming in, our Instagram is gonna go inside. So let me go to my layer back over here, and I'm gonna pick on my Instagram layer, which is this, and literally just move this position and then like go 2 seconds ahead and take this inside, okay? And then do this graph. And now see what happens over here. While the money is coming out, the Instagram goes in, which is what he did exactly over here. You can see if I play the video, this comes in and that goes in as well. And then these elements come in as well. So yeah, let me play what we have as of now before we dive into our last animation. So boom, it plays this. We have time on Instagram. And then we have this money coming in, the Instagram thingy going out, and then our background is also popping a bit more. And literally over here we want to add one more null right now. So you guys already know the process of adding a null. If you have motion 3, if I press, it automatically does everything we want. So it links plus it added the 3D. And on this null I'm gonna do position and take it to like 9 seconds or something and have this outside, okay? And literally it's gonna be like the middle graph, okay? Like this. You can see if I do this, this handle is 80% and this handle is also 80%. And I'm gonna extend this a bit more. So see what happens now with the movement. This is moving, and then there's gonna be like one harsh movement to just push everything inwards for us to go a bit more on the side. So that's where we can add the TikTok and stuff animation. As well as with that, I'm gonna add a bit of zoom in. Alright, and now what we need is literally these boxes, which is our last move. So I'm not gonna work too much on adding the logos because that is very simple. I'm just gonna add the shape layer that we need. So the shape layer is gonna be in this manner. If I go onto my polygon tool, okay, and I reset my fill and make my stroke like 10 for example, I'm gonna make my fill back to white. If I go inside, I go to content and then polyster path, I can make the points 3, or actually we want the points to be 4, so it's gonna be like this exactly. And I'm gonna make this 3D, and now I'm gonna do a very famous shortcut that I taught everyone, which is Control Alt Home. Once we do, and then Control Home. So once we do Control Alt Home and then Home, literally the shape layer comes back to where it belongs. So you can see this is how it is gonna play. One thing is that the position should be 0. Okay, I'm gonna scale this down, make it come over here, and then we go on my fill through here, press on this and then press on content, press on polyster, press on fill, and decrease the opacity in the fill. So if I go on, go and see what they did, see they have like a bit of opacity in the fill, which is like 15% maximum, or actually a bit more, so 15, like this much. Okay, and if you guys remember the opacity trick I did, that's the exact thing we need. So in the middle at this point, once we come up over here, it's gonna be a bit more zoomed in. I'm gonna do the opacity trick, so instead of repeating it, let me just go and copy it. So this is our clock over here. If I press T on my keyboard to pop up the opacity, I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it. So see what happens, we have the exact same effect happening, and then there's gonna be like a rotation type thing. So I'm gonna do rotation Z, I'm gonna go like 2 seconds ahead, and I'm gonna make this 1. So what happens is that this is gonna have a complete 3D, a complete spin, but actually we don't want to have it 1, we're gonna have it 180. So it's gonna go like this. Yep, gonna extend this more, and literally we're gonna do middle graph over here. So see, this is what we have, and to keep the movement going, I'm gonna like extend this out as well, and duplicate this, literally move this one over here, duplicate this, move this one over here, and delay this one by a bit, and delay this one by a bit, and then I'm gonna position this to come a bit more to the left. So see now guys, this is literally what we have as of now. It's gonna play, go like this, the money comes in, the Instagram goes in. You can see how alive the layers feel, which is very important. And then just once the zoom in is happening, all of these come up, and this is what happens. Amazing. Let's play this in a bit of a faster manner, just so we can see what's happening. We could have definitely done better job on this if we had more time, but honestly I wanna limit the time for you guys and for me as well, just so we can have everything done in a fast manner. Now we wanna add final tweaks, guys. So the first thing you guys can see over here, we have like this kind of an overlay which has kind of this snowy movement type thing, and it's referred to as particles, or like dust particles. So you can see over here, if I import this, we have something very similar. It actually might be the same thing. If I add deep glow on this, if I do required for text, it will automatically just add the glow and everything, and this is gonna be 3D for sure. And now this is gonna be a very important element. Let's play it. So now you can see we can see that the dust particle is over here. I'm playing it. The particle is actually starting late, so I'm just gonna have it start earlier. So now you can see, even at this point, we can see the particles, which adds like a lot of life into our video. I'm gonna decrease the opacity to like -70, just so it's like blending in more. Not -70, I meant 70, sorry. Now you can see this is what we have. On the money, we wanna add another thing, which is called turbulent displacement. No, actually leave that. But yeah, pretty much this is what we are left out with, guys. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do Control Alt Shift C to everything, and I'm gonna add like an adjustment layer on top. And in this adjustment layer I have my preset, which is like posterized time with deep glow, and this just brightens a lot of things. I'm not sure about the deep glow, but the posterized time is very important. And let's preview the video once it is completely loaded. Okay, so let's preview the video. As you guys can see, I'm just gonna press OK. We have the starting part, very smooth. The money comes in, the Instagram logo animation goes out, and then the squares comes out. I just made this end a bit early so we don't have to do extra renders. But yeah, pretty much this is how it looks. I added a bit of my own tweaking, like moving the money a bit more to the right. But yeah, as you guys can see, very smooth, very good, and very cool animation. If you have watched this complete video and you are still until up this point, then I'm really happy that you are here. And yeah, I'm very excited to launch my community. And if you are watching until this point, you will know that it's called Editors League. This is my first time revealing the name. It's called Editors League, and it's gonna be launched hopefully 7 days from now. I have a lot of things ready in the back end, crazy interviews and everything. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.